Your ICSE chemistry exam is on 9th March, knocking at the door. Now, at this time, I will not say you to practice the full book once more or to do any new chapters because you have read a lot throughout the year. You have practiced a lot, and I believe that you will be able to do your very best in the exam. Actually, it has been seen that every year students are losing, in spite of giving a lot of practice, all these things, students are losing 5 to 10 marks just by doing some common mistakes. What you easily can avoid if you be little bit conscious. This time, what you need, that is clarity and precision, not any more new chapter, all these things. What you need, that is precision. Be precise, you will be able to answer, or you will be able to get more 5 or 10 marks what you actually generally lose every year. First of all, I have categorized those common mistakes in, you can see, 7 categories as mistakes in reaction products, mistakes in organic chemistry, test for gases with their observations, electrolysis, acids. Acid means it will include all these things. Means chapter 3, what is there? Acid, base, and salt, plus the HCl, HNO3, H2SO4. With this also ammonia gas is also present there. Periodic table and their properties, and at last the numericals. For some of you, it is very difficult one. Now, first of all, mistakes in reaction product. What kind of mistakes are there? Whenever carbonate reacts with acid, the product is carbon dioxide and water, not H2CO3. Most of you write H2CO3. You must remember that it is unstable. So if you write this one, it is absolutely wrong. What is the product? That is water plus carbon dioxide. So there you have to be conscious. Similar thing for sulfite, SO3. You write H2SO3. That is wrong. You must write water plus sulfur dioxide gas. This is a common mistake. Some radicals are there that sound similar. They are also you make mistake. For example, if I say sulfite and sulfate, nitrate, nitrite, nitride, phosphate, phosphite, this kind of questions when come, you generally make mistakes. So once just give a little bit revision on this part, radical chapter, the different similar sound radicals, nitrate, nitrate, phosphate, phosphate, sulfate, sulfite, arsenite, manganate, permanganate, these things. Just 5 or 10 minutes will be enough for that. Then whenever lab preparation of the acids are or different acid, different HCl, these are asked here. The product is sodium bisulfate, NaHSO4, not Na2SO4. Below 200, above 200, less than 200 degrees centigrade, and it is greater than 200 degrees centigrade. Whenever lab preparation is asked, that means these equations you have to give, not this one. That is the special case. What happens if the temperature exceeds 200 degree? That is not asked for you. You were asked, write the lab balanced equation for the lab preparation of HCl, lab preparation of nitric acid, all this. So you must give this product. Then these are the generally common mistakes what you do in this chapter. If you will little bit conscious, you will be able to means get the marks what you are losing by giving that only. So this part is clear. One more thing I will say you, that whenever you will write the different type of products, you must write it is gas or solid or liquid. If you know about their physical state, if gas is there, you can give the upsided arrow. For precipitate formation, you should give downsided arrow. These things you must give, and all equations must be balanced everywhere, because balanced equation get the marks. If you don't balance the equation, you will not get any marks. So to get the marks, you must balance the equation. It is a mistake that you make. So the first point, mistakes in reaction product, that is done. Now I will come to the mistakes in organic chemistry. What actually the common mistakes over here? Whenever structural formulas are asked, then some of you just give the condensed formula. You are asked that give the formula of methane, ethane, propane, like this. Structural means you have to write all the carbons, you have to show all the different hydrogen, C3H8, that one. You have to write all the different hydrogens by giving this kind of single bonds. So that is a mistake what you are doing. Some students are having mistakes in this part. COOH and CHO, aldehyde and acid, how actually they looks like. COOH, this is the structure of carboxylic acid, and this is the structure of aldehyde group. So be conscious about these parts. Whenever you are asked for give the structural formula, give that one only, not the condensed formula. Always, whenever there are double bond or triple bond, show them. Show the double bond, triple bond with their location. One more thing in organic chemistry, that is IUPAC nomenclature. Actually, very easy nomenclatures are coming. So just go through the names. What is their IUPAC nomenclatures? Alcohol ending with all. Aldehyde for aldehyde it is Al. For acid it is oic acid. These things, the common names are coming actually in the exam. So you will be able to do that one. Just give a little bit revision over there. And you make mistake in this part. Dehydration and dehydrogenation. Dehydrogenation. These two are sound similar, but there are huge difference. Dehydration means losing water, and dehydrogenation means losing hydrogen. So whenever you have to take out hydrogen, you should write dehydrogenation. For water taking out, you should write dehydration. In this chapter, you sometimes there are certain reactions: alcoholic potassium hydroxide and aqueous potassium hydroxide. Their mistakes are means you are making mistake. Look at that part. In esterification reaction, the fruity smell of ester, that particular term you should use. Sometimes you are giving that ester is formed. How do you know ester is formed or something else? Because it is identified by its beautiful smell. So the smell must be mentioned by giving that term fruity smell of ester formed. That one. These are the general mistakes in organic chemistry where you are losing the marks. Now we'll come for the test of gas and observations. This part, it is very important part. Most of the questions, many questions are coming from this part. And you know that in chemistry, especially ICSE chemistry, many equations are given, and most of the equations are dealing with the acid and base. The products are generally gas and all these things. So there, if chemical test is asked, sometimes the question specially tells you that write the chemical test to identify this particular gas. So that time you must give the chemical test only, not only the physical test. For example, if you are asked to give chemical test or distinguish between carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, what shall you do? In carbon dioxide, the lime water changing, color change of lime water you must give. For sulfur dioxide, color change of acidified dichromate paper, acidified permanganate paper, that one you must give. These are, and physical test you know. So whenever you are asking chemical test, you must give that one. Okay. Then next one is uh, whenever the chains are asked, what kind of chains you can see there. You are just writing that the product becomes colorless, or you are writing that it turns to this, not like that only. You must give the initial and final both. That means for changing of copper sulfate solution, whenever their sodium hydroxide is added or ammonium hydroxide is added, in this kind of question you must give that the blue copper sulfate turns to this kind of precipitate. So from where to where, both are mandatory. You must give both. Then write the color and the term precipitate. If somewhere precipitate is formed or new color is produced, that you must mention. You know about this. So no need to worry. I am not saying anything new. What already you have learned throughout the year, that one only I am just reminding you. So you just be little bit conscious while you are writing these things, nothing else. Then in gas and observation part, you have seen about fountain experiment. Fountain experiment you have seen in ammonia gas and in HCl gas. So in fountain experiment, sometimes it is asked to you that what is the purpose of this particular experiment. So most of you write that fountain experiment is done to identify whether the gas is acidic or basic, but that is not correct. because that is the secondary purpose. Primary purpose is the solubility, high solubility of the gas. That is the primary purpose, solubility of the gas. So you must write this one. Then if you get time, you can write that it is acidic or it is basic. That is secondary. Primary is high solubility of the gas in the water. Clear? These are. And about the oxides, whenever metallic oxides are basic in nature, non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature, there are certain oxides which are amphoteric. So for amphoteric oxides, you must write, you must practice few examples reacting with both acid and base, such as zinc oxide reacts with ammonia with also HCl. So two kind of examples you must practice. Of course, balanced example, not unbalanced. Then certain example questions are coming. Reaction of sulfuric acid with carbon, with sulfur, with phosphorus. These balanced equations. Because if you don't know the tricks to balance them, in the exam time, if you don't practice, you can't balance them by normal heat and trial method. So for sulfur reacts with nitric acid, sulfur reacts with sulfuric acid. These equations are there in the book. Write in copy. 2-3 times you practice that one, because you are getting one holiday before the exam, one leave. So you can utilize the day. Next, I am coming to electrolysis part. It is also very important part. In electrolysis part also many mistakes are seen. For example, whenever uh, in which electrode which kind of reactions are taking place. For example, reduction is always taking place at the cathode or anode. That one you must mention. Reduction is taking place at cathode and oxidation at anode. I tell that oxidation takes place at anode. O and A both are vowel. You can remember in this trick that oxidation takes place at anode and reduction takes place at cathode. So they are both are consonant, they are both are vowel. In this way, you can memorize, because sometimes these are getting confused. And the products, what cation or anion, what are going in which side, how many electrons they are taking, what products they are forming, that is important. Next, for electrolysis part, there application of electrolysis in different parts. That cathode anode mud, one important part is there in electrolysis. Also in metallurgy, the same question is repeated. Electro refining, electroplating, gold plating. Why silver nitrate is not orium nitrate or gold salt is not directly used? In case of silver, why silver nitrate is not taken? These kind of questions are coming. And in that purpose, what salt is taken, what is the purpose, slow process, all these things you have seen in the book. That only just revise, that are important. And don't make mistake over there. Whenever it is asked that write the balanced equation, write the product from that the cathode anode, what will you observe. So read the question twice at least and see what they have asked from you. You know the answer, but what they have asked, you have not written that one, so you will not get the marks simply. Then I am coming to this part, acids. In acids, what are the mistakes? Students, don't write the acid is concentrate or dilute. That is the great mistake. So whenever you are giving one example, just below the acid, you must mention that it is concentrate acid or dilute acid. That one. Test for the acid. Sometimes you are not giving the proper chemical test. You are simply writing the physical test, changing the litmus paper blue. All acidic gas will change the litmus paper. All basic gas will change the litmus paper. So that will not become the confirmatory test, isn't it? So be sincere about this part. Then role of concentrate sulfuric acid. Concentrate sulfuric acid, it has various roles, such as it is a good oxidizing agent. Concentrate sulfuric acid is an oxidizing agent. Also, it is a dehydrating agent. So whenever you will use it as oxidizing agent, you must practice one equation of that. And whenever you are writing about dehydrating agent, one equation of that. That adding to sugar, it produces black mass, that one. Then coming to periodic table. In periodic table and periodic property, the basic thing is first you must remember 1 to 20, the number, and who are situated in the left, who are in the right side, that things, and the properties, how they are changing from left to right, top to bottom, these parts. One more thing, the mistake, these are the revision part, but the mistakes, what you are doing there, you are getting confused in these two terms, electronegativity and electron affinity. In electron affinity and electronegativity, if you are asked for such as chlorine, bromine, fluorine, iodine, these four, and you are told to arrange them in proper order, then you must remember that regarding fluorine and chlorine, there are two different ways. Fluorine and chlorine, their order is not always same. Electronegativity order is different and electron affinity order is something different. So remember this one. There you make the mistakes. Rest all no more mistakes I can see over there in this chapter. It is scoring chapter, of course. Then coming to numericals, but before that, one point I have missed over there, that is about the bonding part, chemical bonding. In chemical bonding also, few mistakes I have seen. For example, whenever you are writing the bond structure, that time, suppose ammonia NH3 having lone pair over nitrogen and giving this lone pair to hydrogen H plus. So what happens? Whenever you are giving the arrow to H plus, that is forming this structure. 3 hydrogen as it is, and this is the coordinate bond. And overall charge is plus. You can give there also, you can give at the nitrogen also. That is the correct. You just simple giving an arrow. But sometimes I have seen that you are denoting the lone pair also over nitrogen, and then you are giving the lone pair to hydrogen like this. This pattern is wrong. Both cannot be given together. Either you give one arrow or simply you write one pair of electron between nitrogen and hydrogen. That is accepted, not that. Both will not be together. So remember that part. About the Lewis electron dot structure, that is very easy. In spite of it is very easy, you are losing the marks. Can't write properly, can't draw properly. For example, you are asking CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. I am just giving one CCl4. So 4 chlorine I am writing, 1 carbon. Remember that although all electrons are same, carbon have 7 in these all, and chlorine has 7 electrons and carbon have 4. So these 4 you must give cross. Don't use for all the same notation. Then so that the chlorine has completed the octet, all the chlorines has completed the octet, and the carbon itself having 8 electrons around it. And remember about this part, single bond, double bond, triple bond. In this part you are making mistake. Bond multiplicity. 1 triple bond and 3 single bond, both are not same. 2 carbon carbon, triple bond means there are only 2 hydrogen. But 1 carbon with 3 single bond means these are not same. So this part you must remember. Now coming to the last part, numericals. In numerical part, what happens? Whenever you are writing empirical formula, numerical part generally molar volume, calculating the molecular weight, the concept of mole, these are asked, and percentage composition, these things are generally asked. They are sometimes for very difficult calculation, if you get, generally this kind of difficult calculations are not asked, and you are not able to divide after doing 2-3 steps, you leave it there, you will get the marks. Next is, whenever you are doing the simplest formula, the chart is there, elements name, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, like that, their percentage, composition, simple whole number ratio, all these things you are doing. There, sometimes you have seen that one empirical formula, the atomic ratio is coming 1:1. Suppose 5, 1:1.5, this kind of ratio you are getting. So whenever you are getting this kind of ratio, sometimes it has been seen that some of you are making 1:2 or something like that, because you are just changing the whole number, decimal number to the nearest whole number. But don't do this, that is wrong. What is the actual process? You multiply both by 2 and you will get 2:3, and that is the correct way. So remember about this part. Whenever you will get decimal, don't just come to the nearest whole number. You multiply with proper number to get the whole number. Okay. Volume of gas represents ratio of molecule. Molar volume at STP is 22.4 liter. Not always. At normal condition, it is never 22.4 liter. At STP, standard temperature and pressure, it is 22.4 liter. Okay. So these are the mistakes you are doing. Hope you will give proper revision and give better exam. Now before going to the exam hall, you just remember few things, that always you will write the equations in the balanced format. You must use the arrow beside upside arrow for gas and downside arrow for precipitate. If there is any color change, you must write the color. Whenever you will write any equation, that should be balanced. For writing the organic product, what you will do? You will do that condensed and normal formula, bond line structure, these things you will be sincere. And one more thing, whenever some questions are given that including X, Y, Z, all these things, you easily can identify that X is carbon or Y is chlorine, like that identification not needed if it is not asked. Whenever it is asked, you will give, unless it is asking in the question, you don't write their name, don't identify them if it is not asked. That is a mistake. Last of all, these are the things. Keep your handwriting proper, neat and clean. Give the balanced equations. Try to underline the key words where you think that it is very important. These things. Try to underline. Not mandatory, but better. Okay? These are, so you have studied a lot. Just be precise and utilize the time before the exam. And after the exam, you just give your feedback that what kind of mistakes you have made. I expect you will not make any mistake.